Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. We're going to continue on with this bug that I'm fixing. I had to take a break and get some coffee and then explain to my son, my older son, 90-degree backing parking or whatever they call that, where you back into a parking spot. He's going for his driver's test this Tuesday and he's getting, I think, a little bit nervous about it. I know when I did my test the first time, I failed and I was really upset. I was really mad at myself and just mad that it happened. And then because I wanted that freedom, I wanted that ability to be able to drive places and go places without having my mom or dad drive me everywhere. So, and with COVID, things got kind of screwed up in terms of timing and him getting his temp test and everything else. So, but he's finally at the point where he can go for his driver's test. So that's one of the things they may or probably test you on. There's parallel parking. And, I'm sitting there thinking about this going, I can't remember the last time I've had to back into a parking spot on purpose, or I needed to parallel park. It never comes up, and I get that there may be a case where it does, but I'm like, I just don't have that happen anymore. So, but I'm like, okay, fine. You have to do it for the test. So anyway, I had to get out some Hot Wheels and show him like what I think you have to do, but we're going to go practice this weekend. Anyway, so we were here trying to debate why this gets called with a false and then a true, because there's an explicit type name put in front of this one. There is not an explicit type name here. So I'm really confused. Why would you, in one case, do it and not the other? And what's funny is that it seems to be like you get signature here and you put the signature in, but the explicit type name is given because do you implement fully or not, or explicitly or not? And I don't understand why I'm doing one way and the other way. This is for the, okay. This is for the attribute, where I guess I'm saying I don't care, but then the indexer signature, that's what you're actually putting in there to implement it. Why I would do it when you're putting it in the attribute or not, I really don't think that's correct. I think we really want to say you either do it both places or not. Okay, so we're going to say var include optional parameter values is equal to indexer requires. Okay, and then we just pass it in both places and we're done, right? Well, here we're done. Where's the other one? Okay, so we did that. This one is we have an explicit value and method requires explicit implementation equals no. Here, but I bet this is just like repeat ad nauseum. Actually, we do that there. Okay. Are you gonna remember? No, you're not, but you're going to remember if I do it here. No? Is it property requires, and then we say that, but we don't want that, and we want to do this, and we want to do that. Okay, so now we do, and I am guessing we're going to be repeating this because I see the same code thing. Or it's going to be nice. It's going to go, hey. Nope, it doesn't. There it did. Okay. All right, so I think we've covered all the cases now where it does this. Now let's go back to the test that I wrote and say the one that is implemented explicitly is the one that no longer has this. Okay. And also, is it down here? Yeah, I think we also do it down here. So is it the explicit one? Okay. I'm not not sure what it's going to do here. Let's just run it. Yeah, it failed. Let's hope it failed because of purely a mismatch. Okay, it's a mismatch. Where's the mismatch? So, oh, yeah, so there it did, and then I bet down here. Okay, so the throws need to, what is it doing here? Yeah, it just says some struct. Okay. So, did I go too far? Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's come down here and just say it's some struct. We don't transform it. And then these are the ones that are implemented explicitly. We do not show this anymore because that would be confusing. Okay, that passes. That's good. Let's close this. How much should we break? Did we break anything? Okay, none of those broke, so shut down, start up again, run tests, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. But I got to do that. I was actually wondering if any would have broken because I was doing some explicit, or I was emitting default values when it was explicitly implemented, but I apparently don't have any cases around that. But then why would I put that in there in the first place? I don't know. It's a Friday. Don't ask me too many questions. Oh boy. We broke something. We definitely broke something. So it's now, jeez, it's like, stop. Okay, I get it. I broke all the things. So this actually needs to be in double quotes. I get that. How would have changing this suddenly made it so that it was no longer the right value? Like, whoa, that was really unexpected. Yeah, the more I open, the more I have problems. It just keeps getting bigger. It's like, no, stop. But it's all with I have optional arguments. So I have optional. Maybe I need to put a test around it. How about that, folks? Maybe that's what I need to do. It's doing the right thing in the sense that it's still trying to admit it. But I think what ended up happening is if I go to the index builder, is in the first case here, we're saying in both cases now, don't do it. And so when we print out no handlers were found for in the index builder, we are obviously, oh boy. So here we say signature. What was the signature? Is that what's passed in here? Okay, first of all, let's get rid of this. Yes, apply, because we don't need it. So we're passing in the signature to both the setter and the getter. And so that's why it's trickling through here in all the places. So we get the signature here, and that is what is being passed in there as the attribute thing. What I don't get is what's the difference then between these two? There isn't, except the indexer signature has the explicit type name, but we could just put in here, since this is indexer parameters and that's indexer parameters, we could just say signature here. We don't need to do it twice. Okay. Now, that still doesn't fix the problem we have in that we are passing that in here. And so the signature that's coming through here is incorrect. How we're getting the default value is equal to the explicit default value, which, yes, we're doing. I mean, we have to be doing. I'm a little confused here. I'm of the confused. Well, I think I know what I just stumbled across. No. When we're doing the foo here, where's the foo? Oh, we're not putting it in here. But then we get it right here. So when we do a method like this is a void, and we say Sorry, this was unexpected, and I think I may have found a subtle bug with something. You'd think if we're doing this, I'm really like befuddled here. This is doing the right thing. It's saying that's correct. And I get that this needs to be /b/b. But what's interesting is that it's doing it here correctly. Were found for signature replace a literal double quote with a / literal double quote. So, oh man, I'm really stunned right now. I can't get my head around why it's doing it correctly here. It says no handlers match for void. And this one is just no handlers were found. But it does the right thing here. So why doesn't it do the right thing here? Did I miss one? This is the getter. And this is the setter. Okay. All right. So the setter, we didn't do it right there. Okay. Now, if I come up to here, I don't put them in here. And I don't think that's correct. I really think that we should be showing the optional arguments here. So when I do like a mock, okay, so, sorry. Okay, so this will fix this issue. This is the other one. So if I go to the index builder and I say I want to put in for the attribute itself, the member identifier, I need to say here the signature, but replace, and I know there's the thought that just went in my back of my head. It's like, am I basically always needing the signature to have, the things double, like the double quotes handled in a certain way? Maybe. Okay, so fine. Did we ever get to a mock method signature? Method parameters. That's a make. I don't care about a make, potentially. Mock method. That's a make. I don't care about a make. Yeah, obviously the signatures. So here I do the method description. Where's the method description? The parameters description. The parameters are up there. So here I'm not even looking. I'm not even looking to see if the parameters of optional arguments. You know what? I'm kind of of the mindset of just leave it the way it is. Let's see how much I broke now in the test. Actually, I wonder if it's breaking if I put this. Oh, yeah. Okay, because that differs by return value, so it has to do it explicitly, but now we don't put the there. But we're going to be putting it, well, these are methods, so I don't know. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put in a for signatures and descriptions for member identifier. I think we should be including optional values, and that means should pretty much be everywhere. This shouldn't affect anything in terms of implementation, in that this is just going to be a string that identifies, but we should be consistent with what we're doing. Okay, none, fail, shut down, start up again, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I declare victory. It all works now. Everything's good. So we're doing the right thing here, though, when we're creating the signatures. I did put in a note here, maybe as a cleanup thing, to put in the optional arguments in the signatures. I obviously did that for a reason before, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, why wouldn't you? So yeah, we need to re-examine that. There's a lot of things that I've done that I just do and I don't necessarily get all the answers to as I'm doing it. Anyway, we're going to close this one out and then we're going to work on the next one. Okay, this next one is generating unique names for the files, because what I'm doing right now is I am simply putting in the name of the type. And it is definitely possible. In fact, I think I'm running into cases where this is happening, where I'm getting matches. And then, of course, it says, well, you need to be more unique than that. So I say assembly name here. I think I need the flattened, fully qualified name without the global : because you can't have colons. You can't have less than, greater than. At least in Windows, you can't. Those. So I'm wondering if there's a way to like normalize a file name. Hold on. In .NET. Yeah, it's really what I'm looking for is sanitizing. So let's see what the Stack Overflow says. Because if there's a sanitize here, yeah, reserved names, which I don't know if I really care about. Yeah, this is funny. It's like there's so many different implementations of this. String.normalize. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, I'm not using the right word. I want to say like sanitize. Yeah. This is the thing. I was like, I get what I need to do with this, but it gets kind of, yeah, this is PHP. I don't really care about PHP at all. Make valid file name. So here's your name, and then it does this. Is that the one I just looked at? Yeah, I think it's the same one. Okay, so none of these are really checked as the answer. That's the funny thing. There is no answer to this. What I'm going to want is a way to say, where do I do this? I think it's in the, well, it's in the create and the make. There's both places. It's basically here. So I get the builder, I get the name. And builder, the name we basically get as the flattened name of the type, that. So this actually has to change. We probably want the fully qualified name in there. And again, there could be collisions with that. It's possible that you could have two assemblies, NuGet packages that define two types with exactly the same namespace and name. The fully qualified names are the same. And so there you'd also want to include the assembly name. We would want to, we only get the type mock model. At that point, we just have the type. We don't actually have the assembly, though we could pass that in here. I mean, there's nothing that's stopping us from capturing somewhere up in here the name of the assembly that this is coming from, because I think that fully qualifies it. You can have the assembly name dot and then the fully qualified name. And yeah, that would look messy, but we could do like assembly name space dash space and then the fully qualified name. And that could get to be a very long name depending upon what you're mocking. But we also need to be making sure that we are not causing a collision anywhere. So yeah, if you're using files of 255 was a temp path or whatever the file name of a file can be, if there's any limitations there, that can get to be a problem. So we could also do something where it's the hash code, that little hash code thing that I wrote, but that's ugly because in all your file names, just there's no meaning behind the file name at all. Yeah, I'm going to do that in the next episode because I need to think about this a little bit in terms of what we are trying to make sure that we're doing that doesn't cause an overt amount of issues. So yeah, I'm going to think about this for a second. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.